Hi, Living Hope, and welcome to this midweek devotional. I'm so glad you tuned in today. And as you can tell, today I'm speaking to you from a different location. And I'm blessed to be able to come from God's nature and be blessed to be here with Kayla. And today, as I was here, I've been reflecting on a book in Scripture that is very important to us. And that is the book of Ecclesiastes. And this book preaches and teaches us a truth that we must be able to wrestle with, to think about, and to grasp in order to be able to be faithful to living this life that God has given us. And so, in order for us to understand the truth that is being conveyed in this book, I want to give you several illustrations. The first illustration comes from just here, this place. The ocean. And if you've ever been here at the beach, then you've seen people build sand castles or build stuff on the sand, or maybe building a big wall. So I want you to imagine yourself just building this big castle, this massive, impressive sand castle or wall or anything else. But we all know that after you've built that castle, after you've built a wall, that eventually the tide and the waves will come and wash it away, or the rain will come and wash it away. And so such is the nature of our lives. And that's what Solomon teaches in Ecclesiastes. Specifically, we know that Solomon was someone who asked God for wisdom. Unfortunately, Solomon went on to just waste his life. He went on to pursue pleasures of life, to pursue wealth and riches, and he pursued all sorts of things. But at the end of his life, he gathers the people of Israel and he feels that he needs to give them a message. And so the book of Ecclesiastes is a gathering of the people, and Solomon gives them a sermon and he preaches to them and he gives them a truth. And so in Ecclesiastes chapter 1 verse 2, Solomon says these famous words, "Vanity of vanities," says the preacher, "vanity of vanities, all is vanity." And so the first thing I want you to think about for what that phrase means is here, the ocean, the beach, and those sand castles that just, no matter how big you build them, eventually they will come down. And the second thing I want you to think about is, I want you to think about a mist. It's very foggy here today, and you feel the mist coming from the water. And so if you see fog, if you see mist, it's something that is there and then it's gone. It's like something you cannot grasp. And so the word vanity in Hebrew is hebel, and what that word simply means is breath. And so in order to understand that, it's not quite cold enough here today, even though it is a bit chilly out here. But when it's really cold, and you speak, you see your breath for a second. But if you try to grab that breath, it eludes your grasp. Or think of a candle being lit up, and then when you put the fire out, smoke comes out. And you try to grab the smoke, and it's there, and it's visible, and you see it. But it eludes your grasp. And so I want you to think of those things. The word vanity, the word hebel in Hebrew, means a mist, a smoke, a vapor. It's there, you see it, and then it's gone. And so what Solomon wants to teach us, and what I want you to think about today, is that our lives are like a mist. Our lives are like a vapor. Our lives are like smoke. We can't quite grasp them. They're here and then they're gone. And so that brings up the question, how then will we live this life? How then will we live our lives that are here and then they're gone? And so I want us to reflect on that question. And Solomon will go on to tell the people of Israel that they must follow God's commandments, that they must follow his statutes, and they must follow the law and everything that he has given them. And for us, that means that we follow what Jesus said, to love God with all our hearts, with all our minds, with all our souls, and to love our neighbors as ourselves. And so our lives must be lived for Christ. Our lives must be lived for the things that matter, because our life will be gone in an instant. And so think about that today, and think about how you will live your life.